I've got to tell you this story of a lady who walks into clinic with 18 months of lower back pain and walks out without it. I've seen her twice since and it's gone. Now she was fascinated by the process and probably been primed by somebody else who'd done really well. And I wonder whether it is they almost need confirmation to let go of the pain and checking physically there's nothing structurally wrong. Because when you go through the process of examining somebody and you know the patterns of pain you'd expect, so mechanical patterns have a certain style, but pain that's presenting as pathology, that's driven by the brain's hypervigilant state, has a very different pattern. So when you demonstrate the joints don't follow that pattern, they look quite healthy, and you see that the patterns are linked to the stress response or anticipation of something that's threatening rather than actual threat. When the penny drops, it's like, oh yeah, I get it. When you shine a light on what was happening in the person's life 18 months ago, this person, parental stress, let's call it that, and when you highlight to them their personality traits or how they've had a tendency to face off, deal with the pain they've been experiencing, and that's the physical pain, well, they'll push through and they'll fight it and they'll want to rub it and like get it gone. Well, it basically translates to the same behaviours they've been using to deal with the emotional stress. They're fighting it and they want to deal with it and sort it out and they want it gone. Your body kind of tells you the detail of the event, and sometimes we've been conscious of the event, but sometimes those events are beyond consciousness because they happen, or the patterns of behaviour develop before we've got conscious thoughts, or patterns of behaviour in children are done before you're about 7. It's more or less nailed. Personality's nailed by the time you're 5. So you don't have to go back. You have to recognise that actually the pain you're feeling is an illusion of damage. It's not an illusion of pain. It's real, and it's in this spot in her back, and she pointed to and it hurt when she moved, and so it had some semblance of physical pathology, but there wasn't any physical pathology there. And once the fear dropped, the pain went. I mean, she's almost called me a witch doctor, as if it's me that's done it. I actually do not take the credit for it. I've become detached from the praise. Not that I don't like being paid from at work and a sense of satisfaction, but I'm very careful of getting attached to the elation of this now, because it's not my responsibility one way or the other. I'll do my best, but my voice might not be right for everyone. So if I was getting excited about every time it worked, whatever I was saying or doing, and then by definition I'd be really down if it didn't. And don't get me wrong, you meet people who kind of challenge you. So if you don't go up and down yourself and you're emotionally reasonably well regulated, then actually maybe that's what's being presented to the patient, that they needn't get that emotionally dysregulated with their own pain. Maybe that's the communication. So it isn't that it's not in that part of the body, it is. It's not that it isn't influenced with movement of that part of the body, because it is. It might be that part of the body that's doing all the work physically to deal with the tasks at hand. It might be that that's where they feel the emotion or the frustration laid in bed at night after pushing the body all day trying to sort it. And whilst you're laid in bed thinking about a situation that's sometimes beyond your control, that you feel responsible for, even if you can't stop the outcome, then the signals, the pain's just a signal to say, okay, can you attend to us as well as delivering on those fronts? Because we can't do all of this and stay in a healthy survival state, because you're asking us to stay in survival too long. The body needs to come out of it, and that's why you only make the changes for a couple of minutes, showing your body. You have to demonstrate compassion to your own body for whatever it's dealing with now, or whether it's dealt with and habituated the responses to in the past. And that's the only way you're going to reverse this. Sometimes it happens fast, and that might frustrate other people who say, I understand this and it hasn't gone. He's still frustrated. Oh, it hasn't worked for me, there's something wrong with me, there's definitely something there. That's just fear. Keep tending to the fear, keep attending to the frustration. Someone's been really angry recently, attend to the anger. It's nobody else's anger, it's yours. Don't transpose it to someone else. You don't know what you're talking about, that's a load of rubbish. It works for others, doesn't it me? Tell me what to do. You're responsible for you. You do you. You do you. Other people can help. And it can be hard to hear what they're going to say. The blood's not even in your thinking brain sometimes. That's not your fault. But you're less intelligent when you're in pain. You appear less intelligent. The blood's shunting from your thinking brain to reflex thinking. People acting like animals all the time. They're totally unconscious of what they're saying or doing. When they become conscious, they deny even saying or doing any of those things. It is human behaviour. We all experience this, all of us. So be compassionate to yourself. And if you're able to offer compassion to others first, if it doesn't feel that easy to do it to yourself, practice not being frustrated with other people. Practice not fearing other things. Practice being compassionate or kind or loving or caring to someone else first. Practice it and then see if you can shine that back on yourself. Recovery is possible. It doesn't have to be quick. And if it isn't quick, it's not meant to be. Lessons of pain sometimes need repeating several times before we get them. Recovery is possible.